Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Coast Salish territory of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. And also welcome to SFU and to this great celebration today. Just a very short prayer before we begin our ceremonies. O Great Spirit, thank you for bringing us together today. Thanking all the families who supported the students to get them this far, and also all their friends and all the faculty of SFU. I ask Great Spirit that you bless them as they travel on the road of success as they leave today, all my relations. Now I invite Chancellor Anne Giardini to come forward, please.
Thank you to Elder Margaret, a member of SFU's Aboriginal Elder Program, who shared some words of welcome for us today. Let me start out by acknowledging the Coast Salish people on whose traditional territory we are privileged to be gathered this wonderful morning. I'd like to now invite Mr. Stephen Price, Coordinator of Student Affairs in the Faculty of Applied Sciences and an alumnus in the Masters of Education program, to lead us all in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I now declare the Spring 2015 Convocation assembled for the gathering of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands, and friends, I'm Anne Giardini, the Chancellor of SFU, and we are just delighted and honored to have you join us for Convocation. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests on the platform and in the audience. I'd like to call out and acknowledge Barbara Ray, Chancellor Emerita, an honorary degree recipient. Honorary degree recipients, Dr. Elizabeth Lane, Dr. Scott McIntyre, and Ms. Nini Baird, who will be conferred an honorary Doctorate of Laws this morning. As well, included on the platform are members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. Welcome all. I am delighted to participate in this, Simon Fraser University's most important ceremony, a time when we gather to celebrate achievement, success, and the conferral of well-earned honors. This is your day, and I, along with many others, could not be prouder of you. There are many reasons to tackle and complete a university degree or certificate. You do this for the facts and information, of course. Your presence today signifies that you have applied yourself to a challenging body of knowledge, and also for the chance to interact with keen thinkers and to engage with other students. Another important and enduring reason is that a university education encourages and rewards curiosity and supplies you with what is often called a well-stocked mind. I'm not sure if anyone told you this on your first day of classes, but by now you will have figured it out for yourself. Your SFU professors love it when you earn an A, but at least as important as this is seeing the spark of genuine curiosity about something in the course topic and seeing that newfound curiosity leads you to being authentically engaged with a problem, challenge, or issue. Curiosity is one of life's most rewarding attributes. Why is this? Well, first, if you are curious, you are seldom bored. Second, curiosity will lead you to form friendships and other bonds of great and enduring strength because you will be one of those people who are genuinely interested in others. And people love it when you're interested in them. Try it. Turn to the person next to you and say, "I'm very interested in you," and just see how they respond. Go ahead, I'll give you a minute. See? They like you better already, guaranteed. Third, you are more likely to seek out and keep, if you're a curious person, the kind of employment that engages your curious mind, and that is employment well worth having. Fourth, curiosity will often make up for any lack of any other abilities. Even Albert Einstein was modest about his natural gifts, saying, "I have no special talents, I am only passionately curious." Curiosity will make you a problem solver. And here's an example I found when, being curious, I Googled curiosity on the internet. So imagine you have a tiny, tiny fragment of chalk, smaller than a pea, so small that there is only enough left to draw a line a couple of meters long. Your challenge is to use it to create a circle 50 meters across. That's a tough problem. And you'll be faced with problems like this all your life. How to stretch a budget, for example, or how to make a tank of fuel last twice as long, or how to persuade a group of people to work into the night past their usual working hours. And it turns out that there are many ways to use a fragment of chalk to create an enormous circle. You could, for example, drop it into a pond with enough force that a ripple would form into a perfect circle of 50 meters. You could use it to mark out a circle in sand. You could make a dotted line for your circle, marking a dot every meter. You, being naturally curious, can likely come up with a myriad of other ways to use that chalk to create your circle. One of the rewards of curiosity is a bit of a paradox. After a while, you find that a course of inquiry doesn't take you down the road to the simple, satisfying, single answer you had hoped for, but to more questions to be curious about. The eminently quotable Dorothy Parker said, "The cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity." Convocation is a celebration that marks the successful end of a period of study, and it also marks a new beginning, opening the door to the next endeavor and the next one after that. I will watch you and follow your achievements with interest and with pride and with great and unending curiosity. Congratulations to you all. I now call upon the president of our university, Professor Andrew Petter.
Thank you. Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, and most especially, graduands, family, and friends. It's my privilege to preside at this culminating celebration of your education at Simon Fraser University. Convocation is one of life's great milestones. It's a time to take stock of your hard work, to celebrate your accomplishments, and to look to the future with hope and optimism. It's also a time when your professors, your parents, and your friends can publicly rejoice in your success, perhaps while privately breathing a sigh of relief. You did it. Was there ever any doubt? Convocation is, as well, a momentous occasion for SFU, particularly in this, our 50th year. And as we prepare to celebrate half a century of education and achievement by faculty, staff, and most notably by 5 decades of SFU students, 3 thoughts come to mind. First, there is the inspiration that went into founding this university those many years ago. Second, there is the good judgment you exercised, both in recognizing the importance of gaining a university education and then in choosing to come to this remarkable institution. And third, there is the extraordinary value that your university education will hold for you in the years to come, and the contribution it empowers you to make to a world so much in need of your talents and your energies. Starting with the founding of SFU. In 1965, British Columbia was a prosperous province with a rich resource base. It would not have been surprising in those circumstances if the leaders of the day had decided to rest on their laurels. But then Premier W.A.C. Bennett, SFU's first Chancellor Gordon Shrum, and a clutch of others recognized how quickly the world was changing and how heavily a modern economy and an increasingly complex society would depend upon a better educated populace. That insight led to the founding of SFU, an instant university that quickly became known as a radical campus populated by an enthusiastic band of faculty and students who from the very beginning were not content to confine themselves to this mountaintop. It seems they were determined even then to lay the foundation for what we have now become Canada's most community-engaged research university. That is the institution that you chose, one where you could learn and hone high-value skills that include critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, and an ability to work with others. It's also where many of you have enjoyed co-op and other experiential learning opportunities, and where you've acquired and practiced research skills that will serve you well in today's ever-changing society. The value of a university education is no secret. Over 70% of new jobs today require a university degree, and that number is forecast to rise to almost 80% over the next 15 years. No wonder then that university graduates enjoy significantly lower unemployment rates and substantially higher incomes than those in every other category. The capacities and skills that you've gained here are precisely those needed to adapt and thrive in a labor market in which many of tomorrow's jobs don't exist today, and many of today's jobs won't exist tomorrow. Thanks to your university education, you have what it takes to succeed. But there's a caveat. Good news frequently comes with a proviso, a condition that must be met before you can claim the prize. And here it is. Your well-being is connected to the well-being of those around you. Happiness is more than material success, and it's more than individual achievement, as important as that is. Rather, we know from moral philosophy, from human experience, and now from empirical research that our happiness depends upon having strong social relations, being connected to our community, and living in a society in which we care for one another. Remember that. Remember that success for the few translates into happiness only when it's tied to stability and well-being for the many. So as we send you into the world today, as you take your leave from being engaged students, I urge you to take up the challenge of being engaged citizens, committed to giving as good as you get, to serving, to volunteering, to voting, and to speaking up whenever and wherever you can to contribute to building a better society. I also hope that you'll remember us, that as you join a network of more than 130,000 SFU alumni, you will stay connected, and that you will continue to look to SFU as a source of support and a place to gain additional knowledge and skills. But in the meantime, bravo. You've labored hard to earn the degrees that you're about to receive, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to recognize your achievements. My best to you today, and good luck in what I hope will be a lifetime of success, of service, and yes, of happiness. Congratulations.
SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration and role model to our students, our graduates, and the entire community. The honorary degree this morning will now be conferred. And to present the honorary degree candidate, Ms. Nini Baird, I am pleased to welcome Professor Howard Jang. Howard Jang is a professor of professional practice in the School for the Contemporary Arts and the director of the SFU Woodward's Cultural Unit. Previously, he served for 14 years as executive director of Vancouver's Arts Club Theatre Company. Professor Jang.
Madam Chancellor, it is my privilege to present Nini Baird, one of Canada's most distinguished and respected names in cultural leadership. Nini Baird has devoted 40 years to the management, promotion, and funding of the arts and educational broadcasting. A highly skilled leader and advocate, her contributions have been of monumental scope and benefit to the cultural sector nationally and to British Columbia in particular. I've had the pleasure of being inspired by Nini for well over 2 decades. And one thing I know, and most everyone else that has ever been in contact with her, is that when Nini asks you to get involved, there is only one answer: yes. What would you like me to do? We take pride in the fact that Nini was central to establishing what is now SFU Contemporary Arts. Moreover, during her time as director of the Center for Communication and the Arts at this university, she was a driving force in persuading the province to create a cultural bureaucracy and the forerunner of the BC Arts Council. After leaving SFU, she led the development of educational and innovative public outreach programs at Emily Carr and the former Open Learning Agency, and pioneered award-winning studio and art history telecourses with Knowledge Network and Open University. She was the first director of programming at Knowledge Network and was also instrumental in the establishment of the highly successful Partners in Knowledge individual donor program. Over the years, Nini Baird has brought her vision and her wisdom to the boards of countless nonprofit, philanthropic, and government agencies. Currently the chair of Knowledge Network Corporation, she also serves as the founding chair of the TELUS Vancouver Community Board and founding chair of the TELUS Fund, a national independent production fund. Nini Baird is a passionate and articulate champion of the creative imagination and its potential for enriching society. She's a recipient of the Order of Canada in 1993. She has since garnered many prestigious awards, including the Keith Kelly Award for Cultural Leadership from the Canadian Conference of the Arts, the President's 40th Anniversary Award from SFU, the Diamond Jubilee Medal, and the TELUS Legend Award. So today we recognize her lasting contributions to the cultural life of this province and this country. Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Nini Baird the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Nini Baird. By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Ms. Baird will be hooded by Dr. Gordon Myers, Associate Vice President Academic, and Dr. Mark Walker, Registrar and Executive Director of Student Enrollment.
Congratulations, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
It is with great pleasure that I now call on Dr. Nini Baird for her convocation address. Dr. Baird.
For those of you who know me well, you know that I will never completely keep to the script, but it's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to give you some personal remarks and reflecting on some of the things I've done, but I can say, looking around this mall right now, having been here the first year, 65, 66, this is the most placid gathering I have ever seen in my life. But let me be serious just for a moment. My passion for British Columbia began in 1958. I know some of you weren't even born then, but there was a 1958 once. It was the 100th anniversary of the Crown Colony of British Columbia. It was a time when only 15% of the roads in British Columbia were paved. It was before the W.A.C. Bennett Dam and the Peace or the Mica Dam on the Columbia were even built. So in my travels across BC that summer through the Caribou, the Peace, and the Kootenays, much of it on gravel roads, I fell in love with the landscape and the pioneering spirit of the people and certainly became aware of the vast distances between the isolated communities. This first impression of the province that I've come to call home since 1966 had a profound influence on me. Since I first came to SFU almost 50 years ago this very month, I always have found a way to reach out to British Columbians, no matter where they live in the province, to meet what I heard over and over again during the years, their hunger for the arts. My own lifetime commitment to the arts began as a child in San Francisco, a city that supported many free or almost free arts experiences. I didn't realize at the time what a unique arts city San Francisco was until I left it. I always just assumed that all kids had the same opportunities that I had to experience the arts. So after graduating from UC Berkeley, I was fortunate in securing a job in a very small office on the campus that was responsible for engaging the world's greatest artists, many of them on their way to engagements in San Francisco, to perform on the Berkeley campus. And why was this experience important to us here in British Columbia? Well, I came here to Simon Fraser in 1966 with the firm conviction that all students should have exposure to great artists during their formative years. University for me wasn't just about earning a degree. I know you're happy to have it today. But it was about widening horizons, learning to love the arts, and taking that love for the arts into the rest of their lives. And I was happy today to discover that not only does your president have a mother who taught dance at St. Anne's Academy, but your chancellor herself read several hundred books in order to be a judge at the Canada Nonfiction Book Award. So you see what happens to people who are exposed early to the arts. They do continue to love it throughout their lives. So you begin to see where my passion for the arts and my passion for British Columbia come together. My first challenge, though, was not reaching out to other parts of BC, not at first anyway. SFU at the time was a crucible of innovation, to say nothing of chaos, that fostered a variety of alternative environments for the arts and created a market for the arts on top of this mountain. But because we were perched on this mountain, we had to go down into the community to talk to the community before they would just simply come up here to experience the remarkable arts events that we had on the campus at the time. Over time, SFU became what I called a university without walls, enabling British Columbians, no matter where they lived in the province, to experience the arts. Our quartet in residence, the Purcell String Quartet, toured to many small communities. Two seminal events I'd like to mention happened here at Simon Fraser. The first, they both had enormous province-wide impact. The first was called Arts Access in 1973. It drew 1,000 people from across the province to press the government to ensure access to the arts for everybody, no matter where they lived in British Columbia. Then, as cultural animateur, I was privileged to travel to small and large communities throughout the province to listen to what people tell me how important the arts were to them. And what was the result? As Howard has mentioned, the government created the first BC Arts Board, and the first chairman is here on the podium as well, Betsy Lane. And they not only created the first BC Arts Board, but they created the first provincial cultural bureaucracy. And it all started here at Simon Fraser. The second seminal event in 1975 was something we called the Sponsors Workshop. It was the catalyst for founding the BC Touring Council and Pacific Contact, and those organizations together have been bringing together artists and arts audiences for almost 40 years. So we have had a profound impact, this university, on people throughout the province. My passion for bringing arts to people throughout BC continued in 1977, when the Vancouver School of Art became a College of Art and was presented with the unique opportunity of a new government mandate to serve the entire province from its base on Granville Island here in Vancouver. You can imagine my excitement at being asked to translate this concept into reality. And so I created from scratch an outreach program working with local communities and artists that eventually touched every corner of this province, with weekend workshops, a traveling printmobile, a children's art exhibition, and what was most important, I think, access to first-year art courses through pioneering telecourses broadcast on our provincial network, the Knowledge Network. Those 6 art studio courses and art history courses reached thousands and thousands of British Columbians and enabled many of them to take challenging college-level art courses for the first time. Over the years, and I think some of the people here will attest to this, I've been a bit of a chameleon, able to blend into political, bureaucratic, corporate, education, and media and artistic worlds. I worked in all these worlds, always with the intent of creating an environment where people can realize their potential. I brought, over much of my working life, I've been a matchmaker, bringing together artists with audiences, artists with financial backers, artists with politicians, and artists with artists. But in recent years, my focus on helping people realize their full potential still includes the arts, but has been part of an expanded horizon. Many of you, particularly looking at me saying, oh, you've been here for 50 years, might think that retirement is a word. Well, in my vocabulary, retirement does not exist as a word. For the past 2 decades, I've reinvented myself in the world of telecommunications and corporate social responsibility, drawing in part on my experience in television, but more importantly, on my commitment to community outreach, now focused on the Lower Mainland and the Fraser Valley. I've never been able to resist a challenge, and so it has been with the TELUS Corporation. In 2005, I was asked to take on the challenge of taking the TELUS Vancouver Community Board from concept to reality. In the process, I've expanded my own world. I've learned so much about the difference that a small donation can make to the lives helped by small grassroots organizations in health, sport, education, and the arts. In 1973, as Howard mentioned, I was asked to take on the creation of the TELUS Fund, a national independent production fund focusing on the health and well-being of Canadians. So now you've learned a little bit about me. Some years ago, and actually the woman who was my secretary while I was here at Simon Fraser, I just met her again, so she will understand this. I hope she wasn't the one who did this. I was given a coffee mug with a knight and a dragon on it. No guts, no glory, it said. I was never quite sure whether my staff regarded me as the dragon or the knight, but that mug does seem to capture my approach to life. I do tend to thrive on innovation, risking to trailblaze where no one has worked before. I'm an optimist that believes obstacles simply don't exist. I take on new projects, even if they stretch me, because I enjoy the challenge. I'm a strong believer in community volunteerism, contributing my energy and talents to community organizations and causes. And no surprise to anyone who knows me, I've always had an abundance of energy, enthusiasm, and curiosity, something I apparently share with your Chancellor. So what did I learn along the way? Just because you've never done it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it on. If you think you can do it, you can. So all my life, I've followed a ball of string, not because I knew where it went, but just to see where it goes. I'm a great believer that opportunities come your way only once. Take them even if they're inconvenient, because they won't come again. And I'm always up for a challenge, especially if it involves something entirely new. Thank you so much for this honor today, and best of luck to all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nini. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Baird. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as alumni of Simon Fraser University. Mr. Robert Weston received a Bachelor of Arts in Commerce and Economics in 1978. He's also currently a member of the SFU Alumni Association Board of Directors. I invite Mr. Weston to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduands.
Thank you, President Petter. On behalf of the SFU Alumni Association, I'd like to extend my congratulations and welcome you to an active network of 130,000 alumni in 130 countries around the world. Keeping in touch with SFU, the Alumni Association, and your fellow graduates can enrich your lives both personally and professionally. Whether you engage by attending alumni events, connecting online, or by accessing our resources, we look forward to supporting you in your future endeavors. You can learn more about the Alumni Association by reading the brochure that is in your degree holder. As you cross the stage today, I'll present you with an alumni pin. We encourage you to wear it with pride as a symbol of your incredible achievement and your connection to SFU. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Weston. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Jeffrey Morgan, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Jeffrey is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree majoring in Human Geography and minoring in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies. He's actively involved as a research assistant with SFU's Health Geography Research Group and volunteers with a nonprofit health center. He also received 2 undergraduate student research awards to assist Professor Valerie Crook's research into medical tourism. And he now plans to pursue a master's in geography with funding from the Canadian Institute of Health Research, Frederick Banting, and Charles Best Canada Graduate Scholarship. It's now my pleasure to call upon Jeffrey Morgan for the graduand address. Jeffrey?
Good morning, fellow graduands, President Petter, faculty, family, friends, and peers. Thank you for your warm introductions, And thank you for giving me the truly impossible honor of speaking on behalf of students in the faculties of Environment and Applied Sciences. Speaking for such an incredibly diverse group of students is no easy feat. Students in our faculty study everything from computer sciences and engineering to archaeology and geography and much more. We take a great variety of courses taught by professors with multiple, dare I say even sometimes conflicting, views and opinions. We have many different ideas and perspectives about our world and our future, and are leaving with equally as many strengths and opportunities. To many, we may even appear to have more differences than we do similarities. And while difference and opposition is rarely a bad thing in academia and only leads to discussion and new ideas, as you can imagine in my case, it made writing a speech and speaking to a shared experience a very difficult thing to do. However, I was given ample wiggle room and advised that pop culture references were welcome. So, like any good millennial, I immediately thought of Mean Girls' Spring Fling acceptance speech and Tina Fey and Amy Poehler hosting the Golden Globes. For the scientifically inclined, this gave me a margin of error somewhere between the two funniest women on the planet and, well, Lindsay Lohan, so I think I got it. So after looking at the big picture, thinking about our similarities beyond our collective love for everything Tina Fey became easy to do. Because as we graduate, it probably isn't the material we cram for in that midterm or even the always appreciated weekly reading summaries that we remember and are likely to carry forward into the much talked about real world. Instead, it's the big things, like a shared responsibility to care for and respect the earth, and knowing that as big and as daunting as a project may seem, we can conquer it if we work together, that we remember. Even more, SFU has encouraged all of us to engage with our community and that which we are unfamiliar with. Our university experience has ingrained in us a sense of pride, confidence, and today especially, a sense of accomplishment. These are the things that we've all learned, and this is what we all have in common. Finally, regardless of what our plans in the months and years ahead of us, some of us are traveling, working, and going back to school, and about everything in between, I'm sure we can all share a collective sigh of relief that, without a doubt, it's only smooth sailing from here on, right? But as our successes and our accomplishments are celebrated today, we must remember that we could not have gotten here alone. For most of us, it is only with the love, guidance, and a little bit of patience from our friends, families, peers, and support networks that we have made it here. And now, under the pretext of pop culture references, I will use my Lord of the Rings reference, much to my partner's embarrassment. Because did you know that like SFU, which is celebrating an anniversary, so too is the Tolkien novel Return of the King, which is 60 years old this year. And indeed, that means I've learned how to Wikipedia. Because while it is Frodo's duty to bear the ring, and he is responsible for its destruction, we know he could never have done it without his merry companion Sam. Like Sam to Frodo, our support systems have held our hands, offer words of encouragement, and even successfully got us up a mountain in the rain and the snow when we thought we could not go on. And so while we are up here being celebrated by the fancy elves, we look to you, Sam, friends, family, and thank you. Finally, because I'm sure that by now I have reached my pop culture quota, I will not end with a quote. Rather, I would like to take this moment on behalf of all graduands and extend a thank you to some much deserving people. First, the unbelievably hardworking SFU staff who are always on campus earlier than we are and do so much more than we even know. The volunteers who made this morning possible. The multiple Coast Salish First Nations whose beautiful unceded territory we are so privileged to learn on and learn from. The underappreciated labor of our sessional instructors and teaching assistants who taught us a lot of what we know, the stimulating professors who consistently challenge our assumptions and make us think twice, and finally, everybody else who has truly given us so much more than just a degree. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for those wonderful words. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university, and I request that you confer upon each one the degree for which he or she is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduands now be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor, but first, a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees, and obviously, try as we might, we cannot forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm. Just make sure they're spontaneous. Like that one. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony, and would the graduates please return to your seats following the receipt of your degrees. The degrees in the Faculty of Applied Sciences and the Faculty of Environment will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. George Agnes, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Nimel Rajapaksa, Dean of Applied Sciences. To start, I have the honor of recognizing the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence, Dr. Lisa Tang. Unfortunately, Dr. Tang is unable to be with us today. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Nimel Rajapaksa, Dean of Applied Sciences. Dr. Moran Ahmadi. Moran's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Majid Barami in the School of Mechatronic Systems. Dr. Steve Rabinovich, Dr. Omar Aziz. Omar's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Steve Rabinovich, School of Engineering Science. Mohammad Sadegh Haj Hashimi. Mohammad Sadegh's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Barad Barani in the School of Mechatronic Systems. Dr. Kambiz Haj Hajikalai. Kambiz's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Gary Wong in the School of Mechatronic Systems Engineering. Dr. Chen Yu Si. Chen Yu's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Farid Ganglardi in the School of Mechatronic Systems Engineering. Dr. Bo Hu. Bo's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Martin Esther in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Xianta Jiang. Xianta's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Stella Atkins in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Jeffrey Kran. Jeffrey's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Carlo Menon in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Sun Lee. Sun's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Faisal Beg in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Yasong Lee. Yasong's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Carlo Menon in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Amir Maravandi. Amir's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Murdad Moalam in the School of Mechatronic Systems Engineering. Dr. Amir Marzouk. Amir's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Farid Gonglarangi in the School of Mechatronic Systems Engineering. Dr. Yasser Mohammadayan Rashan. Yasser's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Murdad Moalam in the School of Mechatronic Systems Engineering. Dr. Pradeep Ramanan. Pradeep's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Faisal Beg in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Natalia Shapovalova. Natalia's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Greg Morey in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Huai Tan. Huai's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Paul Ho in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Guanting Tang. Guanting's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Jean Pei in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Jeffrey Tien. Jeffrey's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Stella Atkins in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Milad Tutuchin. Milad's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Rodney Vaughn in the School of Engineering Science. Dr. Arash Vadat. Arash's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Greg Morey in the School of Computing Science. Dr. Jing Xu. Jing's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Marinko Sarunik in the School of Engineering Science. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Environment. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean of Graduate Studies Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence in the Faculty of Environment, Dr. Jessica Place. Unfortunately, Jessica is unable to be present today. We congratulate Dr. Place on her outstanding achievement. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Environment. The graduates will be hooded by Dr. Alex Clapp, Associate Dean of the Faculty of Environment. Dr. Sean Connaughton. Sean's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. David Burley in the Department of Archaeology. Dr. Marina Elliott. Marina's doctoral thesis research was supervised by Dr. Mark Collard, also in the Department of Archaeology. You can sit down. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degree in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Matthew Giassa. Farhad Ismail. Ziadin Jalalai. Ruzbeh Kazmazada. Victor Macheschu. Sepade Mokadam. Ninbai. Alareza Rabar. Mohammed Razai. Jingya Wong. Kevin Wong. Biao Li. Ahmed Abdul Sadar. Dale Dennis. Mohsen Lengrodi. Ziwei Lau. Kurt Rootley. Andrew Sherman. Hao Wong. Bei Yu. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degree in the Faculty of Environment. Ryan Dickey. Cody Huard. Emily LeBaron. Lori Ann Nixon Darkus. Mira Crawford. Leah Honka. Adam Kaiser. Maximilian Navasser. Sorry. Anur Medik. Danette Moulet. Wanli Au. Lauren Rogenbuck. Stephen Rossi. Ashley Smith. Andreas Tizi. Christopher Longergan.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Applied Sciences, Dr. Namal Rajapaksa, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. I ask Mr. Go Yu to come forward. Guo Yu is graduating with the BSc Honors degree in Electronics Engineering from the Faculty of Applied Sciences, School of Engineering Science. His graduating GPA is 4.28 with nearly 40 A+ grades. A recipient of the Gordon M. Shum Entrance Scholarship and several other awards, Gu was able to explore a variety of academic pursuits while at SFU. These included 2 co-op terms at Broadcom and an NSERC USRA research position. Guo's undergraduate summer research in transformer sensor development was expanded to an undergraduate thesis, which he passed with distinction. As a student leader, Guo was also heavily involved in outreach and engagement, volunteering for Flush Week and participating in the faculty's high school ambassador program. In the fall of 2015, Guo will join the PhD program at Stanford University, where he will pursue a PhD in electronics engineering. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Bharat Advani, David Afonso, Arta Arabi, Khalid Alamomar, Tausif Alvarez, Harpreet Basaron, Joseph Boulay, Jay Bruchetto, Kevin Chandra, Ian Chen, Carter Chen, Michael Chen, Paul Chen, Yawen Chen, Han Yan Chen, Isaac Dent, Damandeep Dillon, Ali Reza Dibainia, Yu Dong, Shahan Ibrahimi, Hussam El Hariri, Sara El Masri, Ehsan Halaway, Enso Guo, Sam Hafezi, Hamid Reza Hagshenas, Brett Hannigan, Richard Hargrove, Bengt Honeland, Alexandra Hauser, Morgan Heisler, Mohammad Samshul Haq, Saman Hoshea, Rohini Ishwarya, Kamyar Jawan Mardi, Vail Gendley, Ashraf Jerbi, Anita Kadkodayan, Nega Kalesi, Matt Kowanaki, Sujing Lee, Tony Lee, Stephen Yong Moon Lee, Joanne Leon, Michael Liv, Jiachi Lee, Jiayin Lee, Yang Lee, Shimen Liu, Corisa Low, Joseph Lu, Ali Mahinpur, Sohail Mahinpur, Wang En Mai, Yalda Majdi, Scott Malfesi, Amit Pal Man, Ahmad Medihub, Modas Bilehe Mednini, Mayar Meran, Abdul Aziz Mikiwar, Sherwin Mira Saidi, Alexander Moore, Mohammad Nagshinehe, Anthony Nguyen, Vasily Nosov, Neilwen J. Ollis, Jae Sun Park, Sang Hyun Park, Philip Peach, Nicholas Pisakala, Peterson Poon, Rashika Raizada, Sudarshan Rajaratnam, Ranjita Ravi, Tessa Ryan, Nima Surudi, Nadia Teranchi, Samuel To, Darren Tong, Henson Truon, Alan Vincent, Borna Vojani, Carl Wallstrom, Lian Son Wan, Kiera Wattam, Yu Dao Wen, Martin Won, Wen Lin Yan, Chen Ji Yao, Da Wei Yin, Hai Shuo Zhan, Joyce Chan, Wang Yi Shu, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Christopher N. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of General Studies in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Leo Chan, Jackie Din, David Su, Zeren Lu, Anton Sampson, William Sun, Bin Zhu, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Peter Absalat, Radu Arshiki, Ringo Au, Peter Bay, Douglas Baker, Grayson Bartlett, Paraminder Jit Benipal, Adam Brikajlo, Tige Kavalo, Ernest Chan, Jackie Chan, Terence Chen, Ching Fung Toby Chen, Kevin Chon, Caleb Chu, David Choi, Kevin Chun, Eric Costigan, Matthew Debrew, Hua Chuan Den, Rana Daliwal, Kylie Ding, Ryan Dunn, Thomas Dreyer, Ning Yuan Fan, Chi Fan, Kevin Fritzke, Chao Chun Fu, Edwin Gavo, Kostin Gioshel, Dominic Galonka, Mun Hong Goon, Kian Hajafari, Dylan Hawkins, Ki Yun He, Sian Ting He, Derek Ho, Trevor Holcroft, Jonathan Holmes, Alex Hon, Joshua Horschek, Hao Yao Rock Hu, Alan Huang, Dan Jian, Ziling Jiang, Jerome Julba, Brian Kun, Hee Jun Kim, Michael Kwan, Christopher Kwan, Newman Lai, Arthur Lung, Ho Ting Lung, Robert Lung, Sean Lung, Jackie Lee, Wenbo Lee, Yik Hong Felix Lee, Calvin Lee, Joshua Lim, Richmond Ivan Lim, Henry Lin, Yi Ting Ling, Wing Yi Ling, Ya Chi Liu, Alban Lapai, Tao Lu, Yuan Lu, Ji Min Ma, Duncan Man, Pai Jiam Miao, Milan Milosevic, Alison N, Richard No, Sharif Nozier, Nicholas Pan, Kelly Pan, Farhan Patel, Anastasia Patrick, Martin Pelican, Alberto Rivera, D. Rong, Eric Ross, Trevor Rush, Kirandeep Kaur Sandhu, Morgan Shinkal, Braden Shuchak, Jonathan Simister Jennings, Jamie Singh, Gay Song, Ian Stewart, Zian Yu Sun, Nesha Shundaji, Joel Taishrow, CC Michael Tian, Stephen Jedena, Vladislav Tashenko, James Hezron Velasco, Daniel Vezina, Paul Vicol, Du Vo, Jing Yu Wang, Yu Jung Wan, Yu Pen Wan, Jason Wu, Lily Si, Yifan Zhu, Yan Min Zhu, Kong Kun Yan, Kong Lung Yan, Zeng Chan Wan, Wen Rui Yan, Yang Yan, Shao Chan Yan, Kevin Yulo, Zun Zan. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas and certificates in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Paramveer Danoya, Dilpreet Singh,
Madam Chancellor, the Associate Dean of the Faculty of Environment, Dr. Alex Clapp, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
What's that? Good, thank you. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Environment. The first graduate is the recipient of the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. I ask Mr. Jeffrey Morgan to come forward. It is my honor to present the Dean's Convocation Medal to Jeffrey Morgan. Mr. Morgan graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts in Geography and a minor in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies. His professors praise his passion for discovery and his engagement with the many communities that make up the Lower Mainland. For many years, he has contributed to the Vancouver International Youth Festival. He has worked as a community relations representative for the Port of Vancouver and volunteered as a researcher for the Health Initiative for Men. Jeffrey has received the Warren Gill Memorial Award for leadership and service to the community. His outstanding record in research and his commitment in putting his education and talents to the service of the community richly deserve the Dean's Convocation Medal for Academic Excellence. Congratulations to Jeffrey Morgan. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the remaining graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Environment. Yasser Ahmed, Alexander Allen, Hamad Askari, Xerxes Au, Anders Bayermeister, Rebecca Boschman, Alexandra Bradshaw. Sarah Bucci. Jared Boos. Suzanne Carruthers. Corey Cheung. Peter Chow. Alex Choi. Selah Patricia McClung Christie. Tanis Clark. Lindsay Cooper. Joanna Cowper. Jeffrey Cutler. Nicole Dieter. Brianna Di Pasquale. Jason Dura. Alyssa Farkas. Aaron Franklin. Fiona Freer. Karen Fruto de Sousa. Aaron Gavel. Lisa Gerstendorfer. Alexander Gibson. Tapinder Gill. Kaylee Gerard. Matthew Go. Beata Gregorkievich. Graham Halifax. Erica Hassencox. Roxanne Hope. Justin J. David Jennings. Marie-Michelle Jolly. Kyle Jung. Yonglei Kwang. Peggy Lamb. Sheldon Leahy. Hong Yat Lee. Louisa Lee. Chris Lee. Don Liu. Kyle Liu. Ian Lochhead. Carly Lovett. Chanel Lee. Adrienne Marino. Katie McAvoy. Sandra McKinney. Kristen McLaughlin. Jacqueline McLeod. Brooke Melton. Anna Molina. Daniel Moon. Holly Muleson. Shruti Nair. Harry Nielsen. Annie Ing. Wilson Ing. Jimmy Ngo. Christopher Nichols. Sonia Nijar. Robert Nordrum. Andrew Parent. Sun Young Park. Jordan Pelsman. Catherine Pocock. Ryan Pugh. Natalie Pullman. Lynn Abigail Ponzalan. Adeline Koo. Bethany Rasvelt. Chelsea Rice. Danae Renouf. Mercedes Rode. Michael Rhodes. Miranda Ryu Green. Courtney Pix. Marissa Robson. Kevin Ross, Ryan Santiago, Erica Saul, Marco Sawyer, Debbie Shan, Gurjot Singh, Caitlin Singh, Warren Sue, Adam Stashuk, Taylor Swafield, Cheryl Sweeney, Zachary Sines, December Turcato Woodward, Haley Van Poe, Emma Van Reen, Angela Waldy, Riley Wanzer, Amanda Whitehead, Rhonda Wiseman, Terrence Wong, Mark Jonathan Wong, Joseph Yang, Cheryl Yip, Peter Yu, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Environment. Matthew Aquin, Andrew Boxwell, Stephanie Brettel, Shane Byrne, Eric Cow, Joanna Cheng, Arik Chung, Benjamin Sichos, Alicia Drover, Michael Eckhout, Rahim Gaidar, Melissa Heft, Louisa Jung, Kingsley Kwok, Ting Ting Lee, Ting Chang Lung, Kathy Ma, Negar Nakshinapur Esfahani, Ryan Rolick, Erica Schmidtke, Marta Spira, Daniel Tan, Cascade Tong, Ginny Van Pelt, Xiaofeng Wang, Michael Wong, Yue Zhao, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas and certificates in the Faculty of Environment. Han Bai, Jesse Coxey, Yuyang Ma, Corey Newton,
Madam Chancellor, the Governor General's silver medals are awarded to 2 undergraduate students who are judged to have the most outstanding records in the graduating class. One of the 2015 recipients of the Governor General's Silver Medal is Ms. Andra Azevedo. She was the student speaker at the Convocation ceremony in October 2014 when she graduated from the Faculty of Environment. Ms. Azevedo regrets that she's unable to be here today, but on behalf of SFU, I want to congratulate her on her outstanding achievements. The other 2015 recipient of the Governor General's Silver Medal is Mr. Paul Vickall, who is here today, and I ask him to join me. Thank you. From the start of Paul's undergraduate career, he has enjoyed many courses in computing science and mathematics, as well as many interesting elective courses. He participated in 2 semesters of undergraduate research funded by NSERC, during which he worked with Dr. Jim Del Grande studying artificial intelligence. His experience doing research encouraged him to apply to the master's program at SFU, and he's currently continuing his research with Dr. Del Grande. I invite Chancellor Giardini to join me to present the Governor General's Silver Medal. Congratulations very much. Okay. That's it, yeah. Thank you. Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing graduating class of June 2015. Now let's not forget all those who helped you to get here. I'd like to invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, your friends, the faculty and staff, indeed all those who have helped you to achieve your goal today. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some graduates recommended by the Senate for degrees today are unable to be present, and their names have therefore not been read out. And I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. I have several thank yous to express. First, to all of you for joining us on this beautiful celebratory day. Next, to the very many volunteer staff and faculty members coordinated by the Ceremonies and Events Office and Student Services who've worked together to run a smooth Convocation Day. And we should thank them for organizing this weather, maybe. And, of course, to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their contribution to Convocation. They will be performing again after the ceremony in Freedom Square behind the platform. Can we thank them all? Now I have a reminder, which is, can you pull out your cell phones? I know you all have them. And the kids will be much faster at this than the rest of us. Go to the calendar function. Just see. I'm checking who's fastest here. And go to September 9th, 2015, and mark that date. September 9 is the official 50th anniversary of Simon Fraser University. And we'll be kicking off celebrations on our birth date. Highlights will include a formal celebration at Freedom Square at noon that day, a food festival, that's a good thing, live music, another good thing, and fireworks at the AQ courtyard in the evening. It will be a celebration you will not want to miss. But we have a little more to celebrate today. You're all now invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas Room behind the platform. I ask that we now please rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed. Thank you all.